Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Wild&Wingless. Today I got with myself Travis Millar from Victoria. Travis, how are you today?
Yeah, great, Andrew. Thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Nah, anytime. You've been one of the guys I've wanted to talk to since I started doing this show, just because I don't know much about you, but you've been around the sport for a long time. And you're definitely one of those names that is always up there of a front runner. So, yeah, it's good to reach out, and thanks for accepting. Now to fill me in, like, give me your racing history, where you started back when you were a kid to where you got to today.
Yeah, so my mum and dad raced back in the day without getting into it too much, but yeah, my mum and dad raced speedway sedans, and then my dad went and raced bitumen cars, and then got when I was about 9, got sick of standing on the sideline watching my dad race, and dad got me a go kart, so we raced bitumen go karts from then. Raced all over the country, and then I was fortunate enough in 2010 to race at the World Rotax Championships,
Oh
and
wow.
then so was I think there was 2 people in my class. I raced the DD2, which is a 2-speed
Yep.
gearbox, front wheel brakes. So that was pretty cool. And then went back in 2012 back to Italy and raced for the factory Tony Kart team at the World Rock Championships. So that was pretty impressive. There was like a little Formula One setup. You know, they have the massive transporters, hospitality tents, the whole deal. So that was really out there. Couldn't believe it. And the grip that those
Yep.
go karts have was insane. And then sort of got to the stage of working a fair bit and couldn't keep taking too much time off work. And obviously my dad's background of speedway was always sort of there, and we bought a wingless, and dad's a motor mechanic, so he builds all my engines, which works great. Makes it somewhat cheaper for us, and we just sort of blew up a hell of a lot of engines at the start, and then I think we're up to 12 or 13 seasons of racing. So
Really?
um, yeah, we raced wingless and go karts there probably for I reckon 4 seasons. So we had very limited amount of wingless racing over that time. But then we just sort of sold the go karts off and just got racing from there. So and then we were able enough to get a team buyout, and we bought some sprint car engines and deals. So raced wing sprint cars, still got them in the shed. And I actually built Dad and I turned the 372 into a 410, and we sent it to America last year and raced Indiana Sprint Week, which was just a hell of a blast. To the point we're going to do it again next year. So, well,
Oh wow.
in a few. So, yeah, that should be sweet. And then, so that's pretty much where we're at the moment. 1, 2 Vic titles in the wingless. Won most majority of the state series rounds in Victoria, and just want to click off a couple more big race needing wins in other states. So, but that means having to travel, and it's sometimes the fuel bill is a little bit too much getting to places. But anyway, it is what it is. We'll just keep chipping away at it and see what we can do.
Yeah, also you failed to mention your excellent run you did up in Lismore for the Australian title.
Yeah, yep, yeah.
Picking up
So
two
I think
sorry, you picked up two of the wide open hats, which is a pretty cool thing. A lot of people cherish those hats, but you picked up that plus you got second. Yep. Sorry, tell me what you know
Yeah,
there.
so we a bit of a recap on our I really rolled it over in the first heat race, and we were way too tight. And then lucky enough, my guy that owns the LS sprint car that I drive now, he was watching it, and sometimes it's better to get a bit of a view from somebody that sees it on a different angle. And Brett goes, "Man, you're just way too tight. We changed up some stuff on the car, and sort of thought out of the box a little bit to what my dad and I was sort of thinking, and that really helped us. That was just like we were set on from there. So Brett was a really big help, just even watching it on the other end of the TV. And won another heat race. Probably should have won the last heat race. Ryan Furler snuck under me, and then started sixth, and actually dropped back a little bit at the start, and then just got ripping on the bottom, especially out of turn 4. We were, just driving past people on the exit at 4
Yep.
underneath, and probably just ran out a bit of setup. The track went away a little bit towards the end of the race, and maybe lapped cars kind of hurt us that little bit racing online. to get to Jacob Jolly, but we were right there. Just I don't know. Maybe if I got to him, I could have put a bumper. But at the same time, I just really wrapped that we drove all that way there to run second. Never seen the racetrack before, so yeah, we were pretty stoked with that.
Yeah, absolutely. No, well done to that effort to you and your crew. That was awesome. Now just going through that history, mate, it's huge. The fact that obviously parents racing and all the rest set you in motion. You're going to end up driving something.
Yeah.
But to hear how you went in karting, and I've had a very strong bitumen karting background. I understand all the stuff that happens when you discuss, going to Europe and all the teams, all that sort of stuff.
Mm.
I'm familiar with, but it's more so the fact that you've gone all that way, then you come to Wingless, and it's just all
Yeah.
right. So let's just break it down. What attracted you to Wingless? What was it?
Probably two things that we looked at going bitumen racing, but the cost of bitumen racing is just horrendous. And we looked at going and also with my dad's background of speedway, cross weights and this and that and everything else. When we went bitumen racing with karts, it was like you got to change axles in go-karts. You've got to change you change different type magnesium wheels we got down to in the end,
Different
whether they're
seats, floor
spun or
pans.
cast,
Yep.
seats, all that sort of thing. And it was tough working with my dad with that. Like me has been, like 12 or whatever, or even younger than that. He had to learn that after he's also learned all this speedway stuff over
Yep.
the years. So it was like going speedway racing was like second nature to him. He just understood it, and it was great to actually work with my dad and then him just teaching me things about, speedway racing, like i.e. crossweight, like even when I'd race with the Fitzpatricks, I believe like a lot of times my dad would say, "Oh, I know." For one time, he explained to Gary about what like crossweight and how to understand it, and if you change bits and pieces, how that affects the crossweight as well. One time we got stuck in an Australian title at Warrnambool with that sort of situation, and my dad's like, "You need to just go back to basics. Stop making it too hard. Like this is what it
Yes.
is." So that's what sort of attracted us to wingless racing, and my mum and dad owning their own motor mechanic workshop with my auntie and uncle, building the engines. Dad, like he built plenty. He used to have taxis, so you built plenty of taxi motors over the years, and so not the saying that they're the same, but he had an idea of how to recondition a car motor to make it last, which is half the deal with wingless racing is
That's
making it
it.
last.
Let's make it last.
And yeah, so rather than building it for maximum performance, which that's the best thing about the rule book in wingless, it's we have it. It's all tight, and it's like you've just pretty much reconditioning an engine and making it perform a little bit better. But yeah, that's the best thing about the class. Everybody's got the same engine, very similar setup. So yeah, it's great.
Yeah, I guess so. All right, that explains why your dad wanted you to go back down that road. But because I've sort of struggled sometimes with Tyson, so he loves his tar racing, he loves his circuit racing, he's all about that. He'll go out to our local kart track, Indy 800, and he will spend all day there. Like he'll go
Yeah.
through 3 sets of tires, just bang bang bang. Then he'll turn around and go back out there the next day. Take out next 30 road tax, whatever he's taking out, just bang bang. And for me, like he can just keep doing it. But then when he goes dirt
Yeah.
racing, he'd love to be
Yeah.
tar racing. So did you have that passion to go dirt racing? I guess that's what. Yeah. Did you have the passion?
Yes. So a lot. Yeah, I kind of always did have that. Don't get me wrong. There was a point there where, like, a lot of my mates they were going bitumen racing, and I
Yep.
was like, oh, I really want to Formula Ford, or I really want to this or that. But then it was the mum and dad were like, oh, Travis, you're gonna have to start paying for some of this yourself, which is fair enough. And we still actually have our go karts. I snuck into the seat the other week, and we went go karting. So
There you go.
long story. I raced a standard saloon at the 100 lapper for the guy that I drive his sprint car. It was actually his son's standard saloon. Never driven anything with not quick steer before, and I accidentally crashed it after the after the checkered flag. So
No.
I felt real bad, so we took Thomas, which is Brett's son. We took him go karting, and because he sort of wanted to have a go. So we're probably going to do that a little bit more often in the next probably 6 months sort of deal, and then sort of see how it sort of progresses from there for him. And then yeah, my sister still got her go kart as well, so we all sort of went there for a bit of a play around and everything. Hurt my ribs, which was not good, but anyway, we'll just
Yeah, geez,
yeah,
your ribs forget about what happens in a seat. Yeah, no, that's
yeah,
good. I'm glad. Like I hear, like when Wade talks to some drivers, he's glad that they're in the division, and I think
mm,
likewise, Wingless is very fortunate they've got you. Um, from what you've achieved, where you've been, yeah. Thank you to your parents, but you could have gone Formula Ford. You could have ended up in XL. You could have ended up
yeah,
wherever it is. And yes, you're right. It
yeah.
costs a lot of money. I guess. All right. So let's. I ask this question to a lot of people, but what is it about Wingless that excites you? What do you enjoy so much about racing Wingless?
Probably the competitiveness, right? So as I touched on before about how everybody's got very similar engines, and how like as much as they're just a VRVP Commodore engine, and we set the cars up like you guys know, they're running on the like to run at the front. You got to run on the ragged edge. Like you've got to be spot on. You've got to be perfect, and you've got to drive the thing at 10 tenths. Otherwise, you sort of you're not gonna you're not gonna be right at the front sort of deal. There's not much of a day that goes past if you win a race meeting in a wingless. Yeah, I didn't really try too much there. It's like, no, you've got to be putting in 100%. Sometimes I find if you watch some winged races in Australia, the people with a lot of money end up running at the front.
Yep.
So the best thing about wingless is you don't have to have a heap of money. You just got to have all your stuff right. You've got to know how to tune on your car. You've just got to, you've got to be there. You've got to do plenty of laps as well. That's another thing that people, and just going to race on a bunch of different tracks is just awesome, and you show up and there's minimum 20 cars every night.
Yep.
You don't get that in a lot of other categories
No.
that you can drive around the countryside and race 20 cars minimum. A lot of the times in Victoria, they're pushing over 40. Same deal with New South Wales and South Australia. I think it's just awesome. That the competitiveness is just outstanding, and you get a lot of joy out of just tune. Like my dad and I tinker on our car all the time. We're always trying something different. There's always somewhere you can go better because somebody else is looking for something better to go faster. So, yeah, that's why we enjoy it so much, and it's good fun, good family involvement as well. My wife and my mum and my sister and her partner come as what they race as well. So, it's yeah, it's awesome.
No, that's good. Well, yeah, it's always interesting to hear different answers to that question. So yeah, that's awesome. As you know, we're going through our Christmas New Year period. Very shortly, we're going to roll into the SummerSlam for 2025. Um, how? Okay, you've won SummerSlam before.
Yeah.
I've
Swept the weekend, I did
swept,
actually.
swept the weekend. Yes, yes. What have you done with that belt?
So my wife actually keeps moving it around. I have a little King's Fiberglass, which is a sponsor of mine. He gave me the hand dryer, so it's like a helmet hand dryer. The little man, it sounds like this.
Yes.
You put your gloves over it, and you put your helmet on. You turn the fan on, and it dries it. So I take that with me when I'm racing, but when I'm not racing, it sits in our living room, and the belt sits around him.
Right.
But then it kind of got stuck in the trailer, and the belt was sitting beside the TV. And Bianca's like, "We're not having this belt sit beside the TV, Travis." I was like, "Okay." So she wants to put it on a board. At the moment, it's sitting on top of the dresser in the living room still, but it gets moved around a little bit because it's somewhat hard to get put in a cool place. But everybody that walks in, they always like, "Oh, where did you win that
Yeah.
from?" So out of all the trophies that I got, it's definitely one of the coolest ones. That yeah. So yeah, loved it. It's awesome. Such a cool outcome. And this year we've got a couple of really great sponsors on board
Yep.
for the SummerSlam series. So myself and Sean and the rest of the committee have been working hard on getting the sponsors across the line so we can have as much exposure for the series as we can. Like I think there's 72 cars and they're all
Yeah.
sold out. So you don't hear that many places in Australia that 4 nights of racing 72 cars. So
Huge.
yeah, massive. So yeah, it's really cool to have all our sponsors on board for this season.
Yeah. No, and you guys have got. I think the work that's gone in from the committee to Well, to take it to run 3 races, okay, I believe is already a hard ask. Like,
Yeah.
you know, we're talking just into the new year. We're talking you've had Christmas, New Year's, like, and now we're gonna go on the road for 3 nights in a row. And then you guys have just gone. When I say you guys, I mean Victoria Wingless have gone.
Yeah,
Hang
yeah,
on,
yeah.
let's make matters harder for us. Let's go 4 races.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Yeah.
holy wow, what are we doing? But on paper, I remember when I first saw this, and I'm thinking, man, that is impressive. That is so
Yeah.
impressive. Like, we're talking, was it over $40,000 in prize and tow money? We got over $3,000 in tools. Going to be one on the over the course of the 4 nights.
Yep.
Thanks to all the sponsors. But it's just like, this is going to be insane. Then you talk about
Yeah.
72 cars. I
Yep.
don't want to talk too much. I mean, the WoW series is a fantastic initiative to have a national series. They're talking 60. And I remember when I first started talking about this WoW series, and I was like 60,
Mm.
like, oh my god, that's
Mm.
insane. Victoria Williams went, hang on, hold my beer. Let's go 72. And you guys got it, like, quickly. It
Mm.
wasn't a
Yeah.
muck around. And that's, I'm not
Yeah.
taking any credit away from WoW. I love the WoW series, love what's happening there, and it's just going to go bigger and better. But hats
Yep.
off to the Victorian club for what they're doing, and to all the competitors who've thrown their hats in the ring, literally, to get that
Yeah. Yeah.
belt. But okay, please tell me you did something when you won that belt. Please tell me. I've got Brad Warren saying he's going to do a going to KFC naked when he wins that belt. So what have you
Oh,
done anything?
Jesus. Let's not. No. You know what the actually really cool thing was is my sister and her partner sponsored the last round of the year that I won it. So my sister actually got to give me the belt, which
Oh,
was
really?
really cool. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So they so Foster Transport sponsored the last night of the Summer Slam series that year that I won.
Yep.
So that was just awesome. Um, unfortunately, there was not too many people left in the grandstand because it was like we've been racing so long at Warrnambool, and it was just got to the point where you look around and it's like, yeah, this is cool. This is we
Yep.
won at Warrnambool. That was the first time I'd ever won at Warrnambool as well. So,
Really?
yeah, never
What a
won there
huge night
before,
for you. Yeah.
and to beat Luke Wheel too, like
Oh,
that
dude.
guy's tough at the best of times. You know, Willie and I've raced wheel to wheel for ages, and then to finally get him there, I was like, yes, finally knocked him over.
Yep.
But yeah, no, it was awesome. I just got the belt. I don't know. I just held it, held it above my head like I just, stone cold,
Yeah,
put it
yeah.
over my
Nice.
shoulder, and
Nice.
we'd actually pitted beside Scotty Irons for 2 nights, and he just got his new merchandise, and I said, "Oh, hey man, I'll have a t-shirt," and he goes, "Mate, you win the series, and I'll get you a t-shirt." No, he said, "If you win, I'll give you a t-shirt." So first night we rolled out of Horsham, and I said, "Where's my t-shirt?" And he's like, "No, no, no, it was win the series." So I was like, all right, well, we get on pretty well with all these boys. And at the end of the night, after we won the third night, I was like, hey, where's my t-shirt? So then they're all making me do all the wrestling moves with the t-shirt on and the
Yep.
belt. So yeah, no, it was awesome. Yeah, love the belt. Yeah, such a great idea.
Oh, it is.
And
It is.
just need to keep it rolling on. So it's
Absolutely.
awesome.
Yeah, I remember having a chat regarding like what it means to a few other drivers. Like, we all get trophies. Like, don't get me wrong, sitting what's behind you right now, those trophies are fantastic.
Yeah, yeah,
But trophies have been done for so long. These new
yeah, they
signboards
have.
coming out now, the build idea, like, it revitalizes what these series are. Like, and if you can start, and hats off to Victoria Wingless for doing what they did with that belt. Just, I know it was done like over in the States, but they've grabbed this idea, boom, they've made it, and now you've got 72 people that have just showing
Yeah.
everything they can at it over 4 nights.
Mm-hmm.
Are they doing it for the prize money? I'm going to be honest. Prize money is cool. Don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
but I'm
Yeah.
going because I want that belt. Like,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
want that belt.
100%.
Hey, we
Yeah,
can
yeah,
we can go spend all that tow money and diesel
yeah,
money, time money, and go buy one, but it's not the same.
yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? You want to be standing there at
Nah.
the end of the night, night 4, that belt's going, yeah, yeah, doing the
Yeah.
Hulkster and all the rest. All right, that's cool, man. So, all right, let's have a chat. So, round one's going to be Lang. What's your thoughts on Lang?
I haven't raced at Lang for a long time. I spent a lot of time there racing when I just started off in Wingless, and it was, it can be juiced up. It was like pure clay, which that's pretty much gone from what I know, and they've mixed the sand and the clay together. One of my apprentices, Kai Malley, he raced his dirt cart there a couple of weeks ago and won all classes for the Victorian title. And he was telling me it's sort of like a clay sandy mix. So it
Hmm.
was good to have a bit of insight from him on that situation. But it gets a little bit bang. He was telling me it's like pretty banked up towards the wall as well. So yeah, it's a tight little bull ring. I remember driving there for the Fitzpatrick's one time. We were 50 laps. We were all putting the bottom, and then like we just pulled out a line with about 20 to go and drove our way to third, but on the outside. But yeah, it can create really good racing, definitely. As I said, I haven't been there for a long time, so I'm not 100% sure on how it races now, but it'll be a learning curve, which I think is also a great part of the about going to Lang, is that it kind of throws a bit of a curveball for the SummerSlam series that like a lot of people have been to Mount Gambier. Everybody's been to Simpson, and Simpson can be, it can be good or bad very quickly. The hole in the middle of 3 and 4 can bite you or be your best friend, one or the other. And then everybody loves racing at Warrnambool. So, but yeah, I definitely think it'll be a curveball, which will be awesome.
Yeah, nice. No, I'm looking forward to it. I like the fact we've got everyone representing except from WA, so that's gonna be
Yeah.
pretty cool. Like every state is gonna be their state and
Mm.
territory, which is awesome to see. But who's gonna be holding that belt at the end of night 4? I'm excited to
Mm.
see what's gonna happen. Actually, I'm actually looking forward to it because I'll be on the road with you guys. So
Yeah,
I'll
that'll be grouse.
I'll be
Yeah.
jumping around, having a chat with everyone, trying to get all the stories and all the rest. So I'm kind of looking forward to that, but I'm also looking forward to this whole series playing out because
Yeah.
hats off to you guys, man. You've done some amazing jobs. All right, let's talk 2025 Australian title Mildura. You know
Going to
Slouch
be
around
tough.
there, yeah. You know Slouch. You're pretty fast there yourself. Not gonna
Yeah.
be tough. It's gonna be very, very hard. Like from people I'm talking to, people messaging in. Like one thing I love about this show is the feedback I get from so many different people from all over the
Yeah.
country, and it starts coming in thick and fast. And I'm thinking, right, you guys are getting 72 cars. I can find another, sort of another 30 odd cars that you can sort of you just know of that aren't doing the SummerSlam, and then you
Yeah.
can throw some more people. 'Cause you've got people from WA coming. I think I've heard like you know 8 or so people from Tassie are coming across. More
Yeah.
coming
Wow.
from like we're just talking huge numbers. Like I'm hoping it's going to be 140, but I'm waiting to get some numbers off AWSR. What's your thoughts moving into the Australian title?
My thoughts are that you got to hit your heat races. Your DNF heat race, you're gonna be in the back. You're gonna be just yeah. You're gonna be you have to get your shovel out to dig yourself out of the hole. It also promotes good racing, that track, that if you do get behind the eight
Yeah,
ball, you're not going to be just, you're going to be able to move around. You're going to be able to, get up on the wheel and make something happen. Potentially, obviously, every racetrack's different. And we also don't know what the weather's going to be that time of the year. I don't live in Mildura, so I couldn't really tell you it's always hot there, let's be honest, So I've never not been to Mildura, and it's been warmer than what it is in the Yarra Valley where I
yep,
live. So, but yeah, it's just it just could lead to some awesome racing, and hopefully the feature race is awesome. I hope to be leading it and lead it across the line,
yeah,
obviously. But yeah, you, I suppose we'll just have to see what happens, and hopefully it's a great show.
yeah. I mean, I think you've hit the nail on the head. That's probably one of the tracks where if you do find yourself with a bad situation earlier on, the way that track has generally gone, the cream will rise to the top. You know what I mean? So you can
Yeah.
be sort of bummed down, but you can make passes. You can maybe get some stuff. I remember seeing the first round of the WoW series, and however it was traveling that night, and then we saw in the B main like Jack McCarthy just pull out an
Mm.
extra gear and just drive from the rear of that B to get a transfer, and then
Yeah.
pretty much did the same thing in the A main all the way down. With like, wow, that I mean, he's always been a very fast and smart racer, but
Yeah.
I think you go to Mildura, it's always put on good racetrack, and it should be very similar. So
Yeah.
hopefully it means the A main. I can't remember if it's 20 car or 24 car grid. I can't remember which one.
I'm thinking it's 24. It's a big enough track to go 24.
24.
So
So
Yeah,
it'd be
yeah,
good if we could get 24 of the best wingless drivers to take that race. That'd be pretty cool, actually.
yeah. Will be sweet. Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
now I haven't seen you on it, and I don't know if you want to have a chat. Wow Series, you didn't want to do it?
Well, I'm because going on to America.
Yep,
I was sort of like hedging my bets with like, yeah, it'd be a great series to run and everything, but I'm like, just going to do a lot of sort of local racing in Victoria. I want to hit the Summer Slam series. Want to go to the Aussie title, and it kind of with driving Brett Pope's LS sprint car
yep,
that clashed with one of the rounds. Even though the LS sprint car got rained out, but anyway, it is what it is. That clashed with one of the rounds, so. You know, if it was on again next year, I'd do it. But yeah, just definitely wanted to go to America and run Indiana Sprint Week, and just sort of got to have the funds, you know, to do everything
yeah,
is a bit tough. So it's a great initiative, and it looks like it's coming along. I work pretty closely in my day job with Steve Gaelic, who he
yep,
owns Brad Warren's car. So I've talked to him after every round, pretty much where we'll be having smoko, chewing the fat, and I gave them a couple of ideas on gearing when they went to Toowoomba, even though the track was completely different from when I was there. They'd rained so much when they were there, so it was a fair bit more juiced. But they had to change it up a bit. But yeah, I think the WoW series, hopefully it comes back next year and we can give it a go.
yeah. Nice, no, because it's just I've seen you guys travel.
Yeah.
I actually, I don't know. Also, I had the privilege to we would pit opposite you guys at the New South Wales state title last year at Dubbo, and that was pretty
Oh,
cool
yep.
to watch you
Yeah.
guys operate as a team. I find
Yep.
that sort of stuff fascinating. How teams,
Yeah.
because it's almost like chalk and cheese. You see the
Mm.
front guys, you watch them throughout the course of the night, and if you can pit opposite them, it's very easy to keep an eye on them, or be
Yeah.
next to you, or whatever. Just you're not watching what exactly they're doing, but the fact they're working,
Yeah. Yeah.
always
Yeah.
working, and
Yeah.
then you see those guys who are outside the top 10, and they're pretty much always sitting down, chewing the fat, not much happening, and it's like you've got to, yeah,
Mm.
work for your rewards. So it was good to watch you
Yeah.
guys, you and your dad work, and that's what I thought. Oh, geez, they're not on the series, but I knew there was a good reason. Indiana Speed Week.
Yep.
Yep, I'd be
Yep.
there too, absolutely. But I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what you can do with the Super Series. Oh, you're doing the Super Series too, aren't you?
Well, we sort of once again we hadn't really planned to, but we won the first. Well, the first one got rained out.
Yes,
We showed up to the second one at Simpson. We won that, and
yes.
then I was talking to my mate Ben Shaw, and he's like, "Oh, the next round is on the 11th at Avalon." And I was like, "Well, I'm not doing it. I was
May
going to
as
show up
well.
and race it." My wife wasn't too happy about that. She's like, "Ah, yeah, we're just going to be racing flat out, and then we're racing again." I was like, "Oh, come on, darling, you got to tip the fuel in it." So
Oh,
you know.
that's it. That's it. She wants to tell you where to put that belt. Yeah, she's
Yeah,
got
yeah,
to let you go run.
exactly.
No, it's all right.
Yeah,
So I mean, you still got a fair bit on. So but, yeah,
yeah,
good luck to you with the rest of the Super Series. Good luck with the SummerSlam coming up. I can't wait to see how you're going to go on the road there. I reckon it's going to be cool watching all the transporters heading from, Lang to sort of Mount, then sort of coming back, and it's going to be an awesome road
yeah.
trip. I think. Looking forward to that. But yeah, so I think what you got ahead of you is going to be pretty cool. And I'm going to try and catch up with you before you head over as well and even when you're over there, have a chat. So
Yeah, yep, definitely. Yeah. Yeah,
um,
yeah, yep, go on, sorry.
no, your show.
Yeah, yeah, no, we're fortunate enough to yeah, I just need to pretty much get a chassis and panels and a tail tank and a steering box. So that's I got all the rest of the stuff still sitting there from last time. So yeah, we just need to get on to getting that sorted and get the ball down the road. So
Mate,
it should be
then you
cool.
need to get a hold of Todd Hobson, or as I call him, Troy Hudson.
Yeah,
But I just spoke to him before, and they got a whole bunch of stuff they're offloading at the moment. But anyway, I know you guys talk, guys, good mates.
yeah,
Always
yeah.
fun times between you two. Hey, tell
Mm.
me, what's your favourite racetrack you've raced on?
So in Australia, Toowoomba is
Really?
yeah, I love Toowoomba.
Did not see that coming.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. So just like when we went there back in 2014 for the Australian title, it's changed from then to now. They had like a big curb on the inside of the near the wall, so that was really cool. I remember myself and Brett Island. We were like, running sort of mid-track, and next thing Andy Hibbert is like rolling this curb. I was like, this joint's awesome. And then we made the feature, which that was cool. And then I would probably have to say like a close second would be like Murray Bridge and probably Warrnambool. I love Simpson, and I've had such a love-hate relationship with that place. Like sometimes I go there and I'm like fast, and other times I go there and I'm usually reasonably fast, but the joint just does my head in. And yeah, that really need to cut the trees down in turns 3 and 4. I was there drunk one night, and I was like, "Come on, guys, let's get the chainsaw out and cut the trees down so you cannot shade the track." And nobody went with it. And I was
No,
like, "Okay,
everyone
stuck
was
with the
tree
trees then."
huggers. Ah,
Yeah.
gotta watch out for him. Gotta watch out for him.
Yeah. So, but the best thing about Simpson is the characteristic of the track is just awesome. And it's probably definitely, just you can go there at a million different times and it'll be different every time. That's the best thing about that racetrack. You go there and you watch the Americans come, and they'll be like railing the fence, and then we go there and race a wingless, and you got to be like putting the bottom, and then it's just just awesome racing from top to bottom and all the way around. So yeah, really
No,
great play.
that's good. Oh yeah, wow, that shocked me. Toowoomba. All right, they get a
Yeah,
tick.
yeah. And then probably in America, I reckon Lawrenceburg. Was the
Lawrenceburg?
coolest. Yeah,
Yeah,
scary fast. Yeah,
that is
yeah,
badass fast. Yes.
yeah, yeah.
All right, what's been your favourite moment in the sport?
Probably winning my 2 Victorian titles,
Mhm.
and then probably the biggest heartbreak was, uh, so I missed out on 2 South Australian titles to Joel Chadwick, and then obviously running second to Jacob Jolly last year at the Aussie title. But definitely winning the 2 Victorian titles, and then winning as many series as we have in Victoria. I'm pretty much winning most of them, so. That'd probably be my biggest moments. And to be honest, racing with my mum and dad and my wife, and then having my sister and her partner come race as well. As much as we might knock heads every now and then and not agree on the same thing, but the great thing is that we all can, you don't see many other sports that everybody's involved that much into,
That's right.
So that's sort of my favorite moments of when we can all pit beside each other and just go racing, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
No, absolutely. He's spot on right there. More family aspect. All right, man. Hey, look, I appreciate you giving us the time, especially over this New Year period. I'd like to give everyone the opportunity to thank the people that helped them get up and down the highway. And you're going to be getting up and down some highways. So,
Yeah.
mate, the floor's all yours to thank them.
Yeah, so I'd just like to thank King's Fiberglass, Flat Top Ute Lids, Advanced Living Solutions, Foster Transport, DNF Race Products, Midwest Imports, Upright Enterprises, myself, GT HVAC and Electrical. Wasn't for me, it wouldn't keep rolling along. Active Auto, and and surely there's plenty of other people. Bennick Enterprises, Scott Bennick, and just all the sponsors that have come on for the SummerSlam series. We really appreciate you a lot, and look forward to getting on.
Yeah, absolutely. No, mate. Thank you very much for giving me the time. I look forward to catching up with you down in Lang. And
Sounds
let the
good.
party roll. So everyone,
Yeah.
thank you very much for tuning in. Travis Millar. I'm going to put down some of his racing details down the lower of the link. And thanks for tuning in. And we'll see you guys shortly. Take care.
See ya.